Hello everyone and welcome back to Final Fantasy IV, and we're finally going to head on over to the Sealed Cave, which is right around here. Gonna make sure everything's in order, and here we go. Now, where's that key? Okay, the Sealed Cave's normal encounters aren't really that big a deal if you've been playing the game like I have, which is get everything. And these things are definitely no problem for us. Provided I learn how to fight. Problem exists between controller and chair. Well, at least it won't be casting any spells. Does it even do that? Now just gonna cure up. Now, there's something funny about the doors in this area. Almost every single door in this area is one of these. They will begin by targeting a party member, then instantly knocking out one of the party members. Now, where's life one? There we go. And then, after a certain amount of attacks or time or whatever, they will change into a different kind of monster. This one is especially dangerous, because Blaze hurts a lot. However, the door can be destroyed before it turns into a monster with sufficiently powerful attacks or spells, like Leviathan or whatever you happen to have that's the strongest spell. The thing about the optional areas is that we already have equipment that makes Edge's current gear obsolete. So nothing we find down here, except for one piece of gear, is better than something that Edge already has. We'll just poke around a little bit. What's behind door number 2? Death. So here's what I was talking about before. The thing is, if Rosa ever gets knocked out, you have to use an item to revive her. Cecil never learns Life 1. The way this cave works is that I think there's actually more fixed encounters I run into in this video than random ones. And there's also a bit of a cruel trick about these trapdoor encounters. Not all doors have anything behind them. Oh, bats. Very easily disposed of enemies. Yeah, the random encounters aren't anything at all to worry about down here. The only real difficulty comes from the trapdoors and the boss. However, I guess this place would be more challenging if you hadn't explored the underworld. And why didn't you? The thing about the trapdoors, though, is that they give pretty huge experience, so do try to have everyone alive whenever you drop one. The sealed cave, because of the kinds of shenanigans the fixed encounters pull, are just basically the game's way of telling you, hey, you're actually getting pretty far. You got a life. Yeah, another thing is that the rewards from the random encounters down here aren't particularly large. Cain was sure not appearing in this encounter. Edge gained a level. The thing about the trapdoor encounters is that they're a bit tedious because there's no actual way to do anything to prevent the instant death attack. It's not like raising a character requires a huge expenditure of resources anymore. But still, an annoyance is an annoyance. I don't think Final Fantasy I even had higher graded potions, there was just the one thing. And here is the Light Sword. It's a holy element sword, but it's overall weaker than the Defender I currently have equipped, so that's not gonna happen. This is also the point in the game where I start chugging ethers. I have like 30 of them now. Okay, gonna cure that stuff up. And there's some good stuff in here. A Ninja Shuriken, an Elixir, and there's a little thing over there. Once I deal with this encounter. More bats. It's something that can be easily taken care of with Ifrit, so I'm just gonna do that. And down it goes. please excuse the typing, there was something I had forgotten to look up earlier. Yeah, there's a lot of hidden benefits to a lot of the equipment and weapons in Final Fantasy IV, especially at this late stage of the game. Yeah, Cecil got deathed in the face. Yeah, this game is a lot more generous with the ethers than the original Final Fantasy IV was, and I'm kinda fine with that. Especially considering I play a good bit of Phantasy Star, where there's only one ability across all 4 classic games which you can use to restore technique points. Aha, save point. And Edge got Image. It's a version of Blink that Edge can only use on itself, on himself. But that alone makes it useful because, number one, Edge is basically balsa wood, and secondly, it means Rosa can do something else. Okay, the Ninja Cowl. It gives less of a strength bonus than the bandana does. However, it still gives a bonus to strength plus a bonus to agility and toughness. It also prevents sleep. And any bonus to agility is worth pursuing because of how it affects number of attacks. There's a save point, but we're not quite done with the sealed cave yet. There are still quite a few trapdoors to bash our way through. It does make me wonder how Golbez planned to get through here himself, considering that he is the only member of his party, and everything here does some kind of unavoidable instant death. But then again, he's a boss, so instant death moves may not concern him too much. Nope. Yeah, the delay to running away from surprised rounds is much lower than running away from back attacks. Cecil decided to take a nap and let the other people gain some experience. He's very generous that way. Yeah, later Final Fantasy games will say you can't do that, but in this game you can waste MP on knocked out party members. And there was nothing in there. Even though I had some idea of which rooms were empty, I decided to smash the trapdoors all the same just to gain the experience. There was something I had planned after this one, and I didn't want to do that much more grinding to get to it. There's really nothing else special about this. There's no intra-dungeon plot reveals. This is just a straight dungeon bash. Yeah, because this game removes character sprites from the field whenever you jump into a random encounter. The doors that are blocked by monsters will display as open whenever you go into another rando. And hey, an Ether 2, that makes this worth it already. Yeah, the fact that Leviathan is dangled in front of you if you decide to actually go exploring in the underground makes me wonder what happened to the people who didn't go there and went straight to the sealed cave the first time they played through this game. I'm willing to bet it wasn't pretty. The entire realm of summoned monsters and Sylph Cave feel like the so-called optional equipment in some of the East games, as in, you could theoretically go without it, but it would be a terrible idea to do so. So now we're pretty much at the end of the dungeon. It's a fairly long one as far as dungeons in this game go. Well, I had to throw in another one of those. And hey, there's our crystal room. And we actually get to grab the crystal. We've got it all to ourselves. I had thought about equipping the Avenger because it's a pretty strong sword. But then I remembered that the boss of this area actually has some strong attacks that aren't instant death. Even though the Avenger has lower attack power, it does have Auto Berserk, which makes it actually stronger than the Defender Sword. So this is the boss, the Demon Wall. It acts very often, attacks also very often. and has some special attacks like Petrify and, well, that's about it. However, the mean thing about the Demon Wall is that if it ever gets all the way over to your side of the field, it will use an ability called Crush, which will quickly and instantly destroy each and every member of your party. It's the only attack he will use when he gets over there, and it's a guaranteed wipe, pretty much. So yeah, this boss is a deeps check. It also has some decent defenses, which is why I had Edge throw a couple of weapons away at it. That also had the effect of clearing out some of my inventory. Thankfully, it doesn't have instant Petrify. It has the 3-stage Petrify that'll pretty much all of the bosses in this game have. Thank you for coming back, Cain. And that's it for this guy. Oh, the boss gives a lot less experience than the trapdoors. We did it! A petty trap! Yeah, that's real confident of you, buddy. Oh yeah, we can't use the exit spell here because that would break a plot trigger. Thankfully though, I have the most bizarre run of encounter luck in heading back. I guess that's one of the things of having a truly random encounter generator. Might as well save at least. Can't be too careful. Yeah, that's the thing. Getting out of this cave is much, much easier than getting in. Unfortunately, though, the sealed cave took quite a bit longer than I thought it would. Which is unfortunate because there are some odds and ends that I actually wanted to clear up in this session, but couldn't. Because the actual recording session took a lot longer than I had wanted already. Oh, I forgot to cut this encounter out? Oh well. So I'm actually going to just shunt that off to another video that's only about cleaning up those, that miscellaneous stuff. One thing that helps me clear up all the stuff that I want to is the fact that Rydia earns spells at lower levels in this version of the game than she does in the Japanese original. Oh hey, a new enemy! Nothing at all to worry about, though. Yeah, Rydia learns each spell around 2 or 3 levels lower than she would have if this were the Japanese version. She learns Flare like 5 levels lower than she normally would. The only later spell whose level isn't adjusted is Meteo, which she still learns at level 60. Whoop. What? Oh. Someone didn't vet our personnel properly. Right. Hey, you still there? Someone want to cast Pin, or Hold, or something? Hit him with a shuriken? I don't remember if that's in the original, but I love how Kain just absolutely parrots what Golbez just said. Well, time to deliver the bad news. Well, we let another crystal get away from us. Time to face the music. You guys need better operational security. What, we failed King Giat like 3 times in a row now? So, we're going to need a spaceship. The Elder of my city is now wishing in the Tower of Prayers. Yeah, the Tower of Babel is surrounded by a force field and you can't actually get in there. Well, that's certainly a plan. Then again, all of Cid's plans have worked before. And another pantomime sequence. Square was always good at doing this kind of thing. Though, as I said before, it reached its ultimate height when they did Super Mario RPG. Come on, Edge, don't gawk. One of them's still underage and the other is already spoken for. Hey Cid, you okay over there? Nope. Don't worry, Sid. You've done what you can. Okay, now we're done with Sid, and now we can finally head back up to the upper world. Of course, there's still quite a bit of unfinished business I want to take care of before I actually advance the plot. At least we can get out of here. There we go. Sometimes the airship is a bit overzealous about gotta go fast. I missed the overworld music. But anyway, gonna save it up right here. And that's it for this video, and I'll catch you when I do the odds and ends. I will be seeing you then.